right, it is November 24th, 2025. Yesterday we received a most prized possession before Thanksgiving. We have Tesla self-driving version 14.20. You know what they do. You know what they try to do with it. Anyway, yesterday, Yosh-chan, Chewbacca, and I, we were in Austin. You know, getting a glimpse of what the Robotaxi might look like down here in the great city of H-Town. So we drove to Austin with the anticipation of having Terry Blaque's barbecue for lunch and, you know, see what we could do with the Robotaxi. Now, it is open to anybody, at least iOS-wise, that has the App Store. You can download the Tesla Robotaxi app and then be blessed with the cheapest transportation of ride hail known to man. The prices were ridiculous, but you know, there were some times where the wait times or there was just high volume. I mean, when you open up to everybody and you don't have the fleet size required to service the individuals that at least know about this service, I can only imagine what it's like in the Bay Area. Austin's probably a little more tame, I'd imagine, but yeah, that experience was bar none the best thing. Driving can be stressful, but not just the act of driving, right? You got machinery that weighs tons going at speeds that are unfathomable by human legs. These things can be dangerous in itself, but there's a socio problem to it as well. My driving is problematic to Yosh-chan. Yosh-chan's driving is problematic to me. Chewbacca's wondering why we're not just engrossed in his being. Why aren't we paying more attention to him? Experiencing the Robotaxi, which is up. I posted that just before. We're headed to Blaque Car Wash right now to get some Uber done for 14.2 since we neglected it all day yesterday while we were in Austin on Yosh-chan's Model X, which is still on 14.1.7, but I'd imagine it will be pushed 14.2 real soon because a lot of people now have 14.2. It's amazing what 24 hours can do. I want to say the OGs got it on Friday. Saturday, probably a significant gap, making sure everything was copacetic. And I do like this new turn signal sound. I want to keep this forever. Yosh-chan, not Yosh-chan, but Chewbacca, this turn signal that we got right now, that's, you know, because the Tron turn signal is only for a little bit, but now this turn signal activates Chewbacca's I gotta find it and destroy it mode. Well, that's another story. That's neither here nor there. I'd love to change my turn signal sounds or turn them off completely. I don't know how to do that. So if anybody does, please mention it. But as far as I can tell, that turn signal, every time Chewbacca's in the car, he's got to hunt it and destroy it. And so it makes him a little more riled up than he should be. But either way, the Robotaxi, we were in Austin. We parked at the Jack in the Box in the Super Motel 8, right at the edge of the current service area of Tesla's Robotaxi. Parked the X there, ordered a Robotaxi ride. It took about 15 minutes for it to come out to us, which is fine. It's our first Robotaxi experience. That wait time, we'll eat that, right? And we're still learning things about the app and, you know, just enjoying Austin. We're tourists. We're not using it for our daily commutes just yet. But, so we're waiting. We wait 15 minutes. We see a Waymo come by. So the future is here, ladies and gentlemen. Driverless cars are a thing. Whether they be Tesla, Waymo, whether they be Zoox, or whatever, whoever is trying to accomplish autonomy. And removing the human element is vital, right? 40,000 plus deaths on US highways. Mainly, I would say the cause is distracted driving or road rage or any kinds of things that humans, when introduced, tend to muck up, to say the least. So, Robotaxi experience, first one, we went to Terry Blaque's, we got in there, just being amazed. We had to sync up our YouTube Music every single time, which is mildly inconvenient, but fine. It was kind of intuitive because I'm not super technologically savvy, so it was intuitive. If not, we'd have rode in silence. The just experience. I mean, we're experiencing it right now with FSD, but being in the back seat left so much more to ponder. Right? You could be on your phone. You could communicate with your loved ones. You could give the dog the attention that it needs and desires and requires. You know, it really did just ease the burden, not even having to supervise. I didn't think there would be such a large gap from driving to supervising, and then from supervising to being in the back seat where I could close my eyes if I really wanted to. That's levels, ladies and gentlemen. Those are levels of comfort, and you know, you could feel the stress leaving the body because neither one of us are responsible for the car's actions. Right? Nobody is like, why did you get in this lane? Why did you take this exit? Why did you not run that red light? There's a whole lot that is just nuance of being in the car that's dangerous, one, and then being in there with somebody else, backseat driving, so to speak, side seat driving. And then if you have pets, you already know the deal, right? It's tough. Unless you got a really good pet that's good on the, you know, on the road, so to speak. So, all right. So I think we were supposed to hit 99 there. We did not. So we're gonna let our car figure it out. So we're in Tron mode. We got the little cyclist guy there doing his thing. But that would be considered a report bug. All right, so honestly, we were supposed to hit the Highway 99 there, but there's many ways to get to the destination, right? So we let our AI student driver do what it's supposed to do. We report it, no big deal, no worse for wear. We're gonna get to our destination in 20 minutes. If the car is driving, I could care less. As long as we're not doing merry-go-rounds at an intersection or something, I'm totally fine as long as we get there in a reasonable time and I don't have to drive. I'm not responsible. Right now, I'm still responsible because I'm supervising. But if I'm in the back seat, I don't care that we missed that exit as long as we get to our destination from point A to point B safely. And that's the goal, right? You know, we wouldn't be going to the car. Maybe we would be going to the car wash. I don't know. But either way, once we get to the destination, the car is either going to go through the car wash or I'm going to send it away, right? I'm going to banish it to either go collect rides like I've experienced in Austin, or maybe my cousin needs a ride. Maybe my mom needs a ride. Maybe my niece needs a ride. There could be any number of things while I'm doing my task that could take me from 30 minutes to 2 hours. My car could go be doing something else. And I could tell my car, I need you back here at noon. I need you back here at 1. And it'll do its thing until I need it back. And I can summon it back to my person, much like I did with the Robotaxi here in Austin. The future is going to be bright, and transportation is going to be transformed into something, I don't know, to be on the cusp of autonomy where we're gonna have, this is supervised Tesla self-driving, to have unsupervised. And you know, maybe we still have to be in the car, but there's gonna be a point where I can send this across town with nobody in it. It'll get to that destination safely, somebody will get in, and they'll go to their destination safely. The price of transportation is going to drop dramatically. I already know when that happens, my mom will not have a car. She will not have car insurance. She will be using my vehicle as her primary source of transportation. And that's just the way that's gonna be, and that's going to save her money. People that are thinking about buying cars and having car notes, transportation's about to change dramatically. So that's it. That's all I really want to say. And my trip in Austin kind of cemented that for me. You know, there's people been riding. I've been offered rides. People have been, you know, just more than gracious trying to get me to experience this. But the same thing happens when I get my vehicles. I didn't even test drive my first Model 3 in 2020. I looked at it, looked inside. I didn't even sit in it. I was like, that's my car. When do I get it? And we went through the process. Never test drove this Model 3. Obviously, it's brand new in 2025, but I actually did sit in it. I sit in the performance because I'm a bigger guy. I want to see what those performance seats would feel like. So I did actually go to the storefront and sat in a Model 3 Performance and got, you know, the non-performance of this vehicle because, you know, I'm big. But Yosh, she test drove her Y when she first got it, the 2021 Y, and she knew it from rip. Like, she should pull out of the Galleria and was like, yep, this is it. And we just rode around the block, parked that thing. She ordered it. Model X, we didn't need to test drive that. We just wanted a bigger vehicle with those Falcon Wing doors. Got that. You know, I wanted to test drive the Cybertruck because that's more than likely going to be my next vehicle, but I already know it's awesome. Like, I don't need to test drive awesome making me have more FOMO. I already know that's it. One thing about the Robotaxi is I'd never been inside the new Model Ys. And I'm sorry, Stygian 2.0, but I did get a little bit of, maybe I should have bought this thing. That's one thing that these Robotaxi services are gonna do. You can purchase these vehicles yourself. So I took 3 rides in the Robotaxi, and beautiful Model Ys. One was, oh man, the colors. I know one was red and one was silver. I forget what the first one was. It might have been a regular gray one. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was gray. Maybe. I don't know. Either way, 3 different Model Ys, all of them spectacular when it comes to the sleek design, the panoramic roof, so beautiful, so gorgeous. And I got a little bit of FOMO. These cars are relatively similar. Aesthetically, the headlights and the panoramic roof are a tiny bit different. But for the most part, these cars all drive themselves. It's really a matter of preference and maybe volume. As I see a beautiful Model Y here on I-10. So I actually, that was what a lot of people that download the Tesla Robotaxi app are going to experience, are these beautiful clandestine Model Ys, and be like, what do you mean I can buy this thing? And it'll have the same capabilities when activated. So, all right. Robotaxi was good. Terry Black's barbecue was good. We went to a shopping center where we picked up Chewbacca, some snacks and things of that nature. We didn't have to worry about parking. And if you've ever been to Terry Black's barbecue, parking is atrocious and humans are terrible. That's the best way to sum Terry Black's parking lot up. And then we went to this shopping center, essentially. The parking lot's absolutely full. It would be a stressful situation with all the parking spots filled. We need to go to this one area in the shopping center, and you know, we probably would have ended up having to park in the garage, pay for parking, or whatever. We don't have to do that. The Robotaxi, for the low price, I think that ride from Terry Black's to that shopping center was $2.68. Every time you try to hit the tip button, it says, just kidding, we don't want the money. So they're not even accepting tips. And then, you know, we were trying to leave that shopping center. This was the big hubbub. Like, my posts on X, they don't really get a lot of traction until they do, right? I guess I post like ghost bangers. Like, I don't even realize that they're gonna be bangers until they are. But I don't have a lot, right? So I posted the 44-minute wait time from that shopping center to get back to the Model X. You know, there's just not enough cars, I guess, at that time frame. It's surge pricing. As we're about to Uber, there's just certain times where people are going to be demanding rides. And Tesla, rightfully so, a lot of the Tesla bulls are like, that's a terrible experience, we need more cars, blah, 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 blah. I get it, but I'm gonna wait. You know what I mean? Not because it's my first Tesla experience. That's part of it. Like, I'm not gonna say it's not part of it, but truth be told, I don't like it when humans drive. I just don't. When Yosha's driving, it upsets me, especially when she has the capability to press a button and let the robot do it. So if I could have called an Uber and got there in half the time easily, right? Easily half the time, if not less. I would have paid more. I'd have probably got a human. Maybe I'd have got a Waymo. There's just no guarantee that I'll get a robot, which I've never experienced a Waymo. You know, I don't know if is Waymo better than a human. I just know I'd rather not have the human driving because of distraction and all kinds of things. Like, not everybody's a professional driver, and my wife's a good driver, but she's no professional. The Uber driver, I'm an Uber driver. So I know they don't have to be professionals, right? I'd rather wait for the Robotaxi. And that was the thing, is because it had a high volume, right? It was like, high volume, can't, try back later, try back later, try back later. And then when it popped up, I just pressed the button because I wanted that ride more than I wanted to walk, more than I wanted to take public transportation, more than I wanted an Uber, even if that Uber was a Waymo. Price does play a factor, but the Robotaxi experience was heavenly. And I can only imagine when they remove that safety monitor, right? Like the guy that's there just in case. Tesla's just being uber safe, pun not intended. Before they remove that, did that guy need to be there in any 3 of those rides that I took yesterday? No, he did not need to be there. He wasn't doing anything besides making sure the car, you know, wasn't in a loop or stuck or something. And I don't know how often that might happen, but I imagine Tesla has like milestones that they want to achieve before they fully remove that driver from Austin. Is that going to be by the end of the year? Odds are yes, right? They've opened it up wide to everybody that wants to experience the service. Now, they're adding vehicles, probably slower than most people would like, but there's some logistics that you've got to, you know, some skills, some proficiencies you've got to go through when operating a ride-hail service that's going to be as cheap as this and, quite frankly, as pleasant, right? It's incredible. I didn't think jumping in the back seat would be such a level change. All right, so today we're gonna give 14.2 its credit, its due. Yesterday was all about the Robotaxi in Austin because I fully expect there to be a form of that Robotaxi here in Houston, whether it be inside the 610 loop. I don't know how much of the greater metro Houston area that they will start with, but I imagine expansion is going to increase dramatically because if you visit Houston, nothing is a stone's throw away. Everything is a 15-20 minute drive for at minimum for you to get to where you need to be. A lot of my Uber rides, I would say the average fall between the 10 and 15 minute range, especially certain areas of the city. But there are quite a bit of 25 plus minute rides. Getting to and from the airport obviously is one, but there's just, you know, getting to ball games, getting to events. People are going to, you know, they're going to be located in the greater metro Houston area, whether it be Pearland, Katy, whatever, and they're going to need to get into the heart of Houston. Those are 25 plus minute drives, and I think it's difficult for me to even call this our AI student driver. I'm pretty sure this thing has its license now. I think we're just being extra safe with the driving instructor here. This thing has been driving and I haven't really been thinking about it. Just absolutely smooth. Made that one error where it didn't get on 99, but it didn't freak out when it missed the exit. That's my whole thing, is if we're in the wrong lane and I know it needs to get on the highway, it doesn't need to. I just want it to, all right? That's what the navigation recommended, that you get on the highway there. And when it realized it couldn't do it, it didn't flip out and make a hard left to get on the freeway just to appease the navigation. It was like, we missed it. Next. And we moved on safely, securely. That's what I want from my service. It may miss an exit. What's it do afterwards? Does it, like, if we got to get on this Derry Ashford exit, we miss it because there's 1,000 cars trying to exit on Derry Ashford. Does it get paralyzed and just sit here? Or does it be like, there's another way to get to my destination, I'm going to take that? That's what I want to see from my ride-hail service. That's what I want to see from my personal car. And that's what it'll take for it to be able to safely operate in some of the dangerous driving conditions throughout the world. I mean, Houston, it's dangerous in these major metropolitan areas, on these highways, on these freeways. We got to make sure that it's absolutely safe when it's exiting, when it's entering these on-ramps and things of that nature, and the decisions that it chooses to make, right? Everything's been butter smooth since that one report that we had, and honestly, I'm glad it made that decision, because it would have been a rough time for it to make that exit. Could it have made it? I think so, but it would have been rough. I'd rather the ride be smooth. Anyway, we've got a day ahead of us. I don't know how long we're gonna Uber. We definitely need some footage for the YouTube channel. Again, I know we're in this time period, this time crunch where FSD is updating quite rapidly, and Elon is even talking about 14.3. You know what I mean? So the puzzle piece, the final puzzle pieces will be dropping soon. Like, that gets me giddy inside, because that's going to change the way I behave ultimately. Like, who's going to be granted access to my vehicle when I'm able to, I assume final puzzle pieces is this thing operating with Tesla assuming liability. To me, that's the final puzzle piece. Putting it on a network where I can just be like, all right, go do your thing, bro. Or, you know, just having it still under my control and being, all right, Tesla, I'm gonna take my car and send it across town to go pick up my mom from Target. Go, right? We're not charging her. I'm just sending it, banishing it, and you know, having it drop her off and then come back to me, park on the curb until I'm ready to put it in my garage and charge it or whatever. This is going to change the way I think all cars should behave. I'm expecting more from my automobiles. I'm not spending $20,000 plus on anything that won't have these capabilities, period. I will demand more from my vehicles. Now, Rivian's a nice car. Lucid's beautiful, great performance. Does it drive itself? If the answer is still no, one, they need to figure out how they can do that. And then two, I have no need for it. I mean, especially if it can't do it as good as Tesla can do it. It's gonna take people a long time to really understand. And I think she's my camera lady, and you know, I kind of wish I didn't have her holding the camera, but she wasn't on her phone. You know, I assumed she might be knee deep in her phone or playing with Chewbacca more, but she was enthralled by the concept that nobody was driving the car, the families in the back seat together, experiences together, to say the least. And you know, she's my barometer, essentially. Like, how amazing is this? Because I fanboy out. I'm not gonna lie. I think this is amazing, and I'm glad I've got a front row seat to it. Because 99% of the people Well, there's a lot of Teslas at this light, so it's hard for me to even say that. But there's a lot of people here. That Model X seems to be driving by itself. Like, I didn't see no hands on the steering wheel as it attempted that U-turn. But that's just me, right? There is a lot of cars on the road right now that are being driven manually. A vast majority of the vehicles here on Derry Ashford Road are being driven manually. And I'm seeing a lot of Teslas, but still, the number is still quite large. I feel like I have a head start on people that are still driving. Whereas me, I may be supervising, but for how much longer? Like, any intervention by me might pose more of a danger than just letting the robot do it. We have crossed that Rubicon, ladies and gentlemen. If I were to take over, I need to be 100% that my actions are going to be better than the car's actions, and I'm not exactly sure if that's the case. Now, there's going to be preference, right? I could have easily got onto 99. I could have broke from FSD or Tesla self-driving and swerved into 99. Of course, I'd have probably done that without checking my mirrors and just assuming that there was nobody behind me. I'll check the tape to make sure, but in time, like, I'm just like, oh, we missed the exit. Part of me wanted to just grab the wheel and make the car do it, but I wouldn't have checked anything. I wouldn't have checked blind spots. I wouldn't have. The car is like, we don't need to make that exit. And even if it was like a hiccup, because it probably could have made it, and if it didn't, so be it. Even if it's a hiccup, it's something that I'm sure the Tesla team, even if I don't report it, they're going to be made aware of a situation where maybe these AI chips differed, or there was a deviation from the navigation, right? So the Tesla AI team is on this stuff. So we are here at Blaque Car Wash. We're gonna do some Uber after they wash our car, and we're gonna see how that goes. All right, so we wanted to go into the exit only, which is, you know, it's a car wash.